Hey, I'm your host, Jen Wheeler, and this is the Healthy Her podcast. I'm a teacher, author, and foodie who went from being addicted to sugar, skipping meals, and struggling to get in control of my eating, to someone who is 10 kilos down, eats all the yummy foods without restriction, and is finally in control of my hunger. I'm obsessed with helping other health-conscious women ditch the confusion and overwhelm so they can cultivate healthy eating habits and truly thrive. The Healthy Her podcast was created to give you real talk about healthy eating, as well as easy, actionable tips that fit seamlessly into your busy lifestyle. I'm not just your host. Think of me as your healthy eating hype gal, your personal cheerleader as we chat all things healthy eating, weight loss, and mindset mastery, so you can become the healthiest, happiest version of you. So if you're ready to ditch the guilt, reclaim your confidence, and unlock the very best version of you, then you're in the right place. So let's get started. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Healthy Her podcast. I'm super happy that you have joined me here today because we have got a big topic to talk about that is something that comes up a lot, and that is how to stop quitting on yourself. So how to stop quitting on yourself before it gets really good and before, you've lost the weight and healthy habits feel easy, because one of the biggest problems that I see with women is that they quit too soon. And that is the truth. And so in today's episode, I really want to delve deep into the reasons that we quit on ourselves, how to stop quitting on ourselves so that you can finally get to your end goal and stay there. Like, there is nothing worse than feeling stuck in a yo-yo dieting loop, in a habit cycle where you just can't break those bad habits and can't get into a healthy routine for yourself. So in today's episode, we're going to be talking all about how busy women can keep going when you just want to quit and when you just want to quit on yourself. Now, so many women quit too soon. That is the truth. Like, I see women all the time. I work with women all the time in the Healthy Eating Hype Gal membership, and they are doing all the things and showing up. They're in a deficit. They're doing the things that they need to do in order to get to their end goal, but they quit. They decide that they can't do it perfectly, and so they quit. And then what happens is when you quit on yourself, you go through that awful cycle where you beat yourself up, you feel really bad, you think you're a failure, you're like, why can't I do this? What is wrong with me? And then you sit in that for a while, and then as time passes on, sometimes it can be 2 weeks, sometimes it can be 2 months, sometimes it's 2 years where you go, okay, I'm ready to pick this up and have another go at this again. So life is stressful. It is full on. Like, we have so much going on. And honestly, the women that get to their end goals are the ones that trust that the version of themselves that they want is on the other side. Even when things feel like they're not working, they trust that the effort that they're putting in, even though it may not pay off today or tomorrow, it is going to pay off eventually. And they are the women that succeed, the women that don't quit. They're women that just keep going, like I said, when life is hard, when it's stressful, when they've got lots of things on, when things aren't working out the way that they want. They're the ones that get to their end goal because they trust in the process and they trust themselves that even though it's not showing up right now, that what they're doing will have a compound effect and that they will get the results that they want at the end of the day. And here's the truth. Did you know that if you can see something for yourself, so if you can see or visualize in your mind a version of yourself, it actually means that you already have it yourself in the future. Like, there's a future version of you that has that thing already. So if you see yourself as eventually being this fit, healthy, happy person that exercises regularly, that eats well, that looks after her body, but still enjoys a meal out and a glass of wine, it means that there's a future version of you that already has that thing. So if you can see it for yourself, it means that there's a future version of you that already has that thing. And that's why thinking healthy and thinking and visualizing yourself as this version of you is really, really important, because like I said, it means that there is a future version of you that's already there. And it's a really, really important one to remember, especially on those days where you're feeling flat, deflated, stuck, when things aren't moving and you're like, well, what am I doing this for? What is the point? Now, I really want to help you to understand, because this is something I'm so passionate about. We just don't understand this stuff, okay? When you understand why you're doing something, it's like everything clicks. It's like there's a switch in your brain, and this was the same for me. It's like it's something just switches and you go, oh, okay, before I didn't get this, but someone's explained it to me now in a way that I understand. So I now understand why I'm quitting on myself. So I always want to explain to you so that you understand the why. So we need to talk about why you quit on yourself. Okay, there's a reason for that. You're not just quitting on yourself because you're soft or you're weak or you don't have willpower. That's not why you're quitting on yourself. You're a very smart, capable woman. Okay, that's not why you're quitting on yourself. There are reasons that you are quitting on yourself, and we need to talk about them because when you identify these things, like I said, it flips that switch and it almost sort of like unlocks that secret box that you've kept locked up, this tool of success to help you to stop quitting on yourself. So why do you quit on yourself? The first one, the scales aren't showing progress despite your efforts. Okay, so you're in a calorie deficit, you're exercising, you're eating well, you're doing all the things, and you go and stand on the scale at the end of the week and you're like, either nothing's happened or you've had a small weight gain. So you quit. Okay, you've put in the effort, you feel like you've tried, you did what you were supposed to do, and it didn't show on the scales. So you quit. It's one of the main reasons that we quit as women. Okay, that is one of the key important ones to remember. Okay, and as I've always said, weight loss isn't linear. And I wish someone had explained this to me. You will not lose weight every single week. You will not lose weight in this beautiful, neat, tidy fashion. It's just not how our bodies work. And what you want to focus on over time is the trend. So you want to always be looking at, hey, is this thing slowly, even if it's really slow, is this scale number slowly over time going down? That's what you want to focus on. But like I said, we put in the effort, we feel like we're trying, we're doing all the things, we've gone down the scale and boom, nothing has happened, or we've had an increase in our weight and we've put on a little bit of weight. And again, there's so many reasons for that. So it's definitely nothing worth stressing about, but it sends that message to our brain that it's like, well, hang on a minute, I did this, I tried, I did all the things that I was supposed to do and it didn't pay off. So what's the point? So that's one of the main reasons as women that we quit on our weight loss efforts. Number two is that we're told, and it's like inbuilt in us from girls and teenagers and young women, that weight loss is fast. It's fast because it's advertised everywhere. It's like lose 6 kilos in 6 weeks. Okay, sign up for my challenge. So those messages that you are constantly getting is that weight loss is fast. So when it doesn't happen fast, you're like, what is this crap? Like, I've tried all the things, I've done all the things. It's supposed to just come off in like a month and I'm all good and then I can just go back to my old lifestyle. That is not the way that weight loss works. Okay, and that's why we quit. All right, because we're like, well, this is supposed to happen really fast. I've seen the girls on the TV. I've seen the before and after photos on social media. It's supposed to happen fast. Didn't happen fast. I must be doing it wrong. And then I quit. That's another key reason as to why we quit on ourselves too soon. The other reason, so this is number 3, is that we are taught as women to only recognize the scale as a sign of progress. And in the beginning, when I talked about when you're doing all the things and you stand on the scale and nothing's happening, that's normal. It's just that no one's out there talking about this stuff. No one's sharing that on social media or on the telly, on the weight loss ads and things like that, because they want to sell you something. Okay, they want you to sign up for these quick fixes and these challenges. And that's the problem, is that we're only ever taught to recognize that scale progress. Okay, and I guarantee you, like I said in that example where I was talking about the scales and things at the beginning of this episode, I guarantee you that person that did all the things, that stood on the scale, that went to weigh themselves and nothing had changed, or they'd had a little bit of a weight gain, has made massive progress. It's just that we have been taught as women to not recognize those things and to only focus on what the scale is telling us. Now, I guarantee you, if you're doing all the things, there's so much progress that you should be celebrating. You're probably exercising more. You're probably going to bed early. You're probably eating a high protein breakfast every day that you weren't eating before. You're probably drinking more water. You're probably tracking your food that you weren't doing before. There is so much to celebrate. It's just that We have been taught to focus on the scales only, and that is why we quit, because the scales don't show us what we want. So we go, well, what's the point? I'm not making any progress. I'm trying, I'm doing all the things, so I'm just going to quit. And the final reason that we quit as women is fear. We have fear. It's a fear, it's a doubt, it's a learned pattern and a brain pathway that says, you can't do this. You've tried it before, okay? I'm sure, like, if you're listening to this podcast, like, you have tried, like me and like every other woman on this planet has tried multiple different diets, multiple different ways of eating, multiple different ways of exercising, and nothing has ever quite clicked or come together. And it is because every time we go and try something, we fail. So we fail, we don't get the results that we want. And so then we get this pathway sent to our brain that it's like, oh, hang on a sec. Like, Jen tried all these things. She did the things, she did the deficit, she did the things that she was supposed to do, and she didn't get the results that she wants. So, I'm a failure. And so I'm going to quit. And the problem with that is that when you start, you go, okay, I'm going to get on the horse again. I'm going to try this again. Yes, I'm ready to change my lifestyle. I feel bloated. I'm not happy. I know something needs to change. And you go to do something else or sign up for some new program. There is that fear in your mind. There is that doubt. There is that learned pathway that goes, oh, you know what? Hang on a second. The 5 times that I've tried this before, I really failed at it. I sucked at it and I wasn't very good. So you're sort of starting off backwards already, because you've basically already told yourself that this is going to not work, that you're going to fail, and it's just going to be like every other time. And that is why we quit too soon. So I hope that one of those things has triggered you. One of them is like, oh yeah, that's me for sure. Or like, that's me, because it is important that you understand why you quit. You can't just go, I'll just stop quitting. You have to understand your why. Everyone has a why as to why you're quitting. It's either your self-esteem, it's either fear, it's either like your relationship with the scales. Every single woman has a reason why she quits on herself before she gets to the end result, before everything gets really good. So it's really, really important that you understand why you quit in the first place. Because when you understand, you're becoming aware. So if you're becoming aware of why you're quitting, it's easier to make changes. Okay, that's why this part, understanding this why part, is super, super important. All right, so we've talked about why we quit and the different ways and the different reasons why us gals quit on ourselves and like I said, it doesn't have to be always weight loss. This can be your gym routine. This can be your healthy habit of drinking more water. Whatever it is, there's a reason that you keep quitting on yourself. Okay, so identify what it is, start becoming aware of it, because it will help you to make better choices moving forward. All right, important part. Let's talk about how you actually stop quitting, because that's what we all want to know. We want to know as women, how do I stop doing this thing? How do I stop quitting on myself? Because there's nothing worse. It's the worst place to be. You feel stuck. You feel like nothing's moving. You feel like you're trying and it's just not happening. So we really want to get you to that point where, if life is stressful, things are hard, that you don't quit on yourself and that you just keep showing up no matter what, because you know that there is a future version of you that already has this body that you want, this vibrancy that you want, this healthy eating pattern that you want. She has it already. Okay, number 1, how are you going to stop quitting on yourself? Focus on your why. What are you doing this for? Are you doing this to look nice in a photo? Like, what are you doing this for? Like, really hone down and think about what your why is. I know a lot of women that I work with, especially through the membership, will often comment and say that I really want to be a healthy, positive role model for my children and model healthy eating to them so that they can grow and establish healthy eating habits as they get older. That's your why. And as well too, your why might be to fit into a size 10 dress and to look banging hot. And I just want to say, if that's why, it's okay. A lot of the time it's like that's a bad thing as a woman to want to look good in an outfit or to feel good or to stand in the mirror and go, damn girl, I really like what I'm looking at here. Like, there is nothing wrong if looking good and feeling good is your why for wanting to change your lifestyle and your habits and your exercise routines. That is totally okay, but you just have to work out what your why is. Why are you doing this? Is it for health? Is it for wellness? Is it for your kids? Is it to be a good role model? Is it to look hot as hell in that new outfit? Whatever your why is, always come back to your why. Why am I doing this? Okay. And the thing is also, if you're The only issue and the only problem you want to be aware is if you can't be doing this for someone else, okay? You have to be doing it for yourself. It can't be, oh, well, I want to look good for my partner or for my husband or whatever. It has to be something that you're doing for you because you want to show up as the healthiest, happiest, vibrant, most confident version of yourself, because that will keep you going. So always check back in when you're wanting to quit. Why am I doing this? Like, there's a reason. Why are you doing this? And always come back to that why, because it will trigger that little something inside of you where you go, yeah, you know what? I know I need to do this. I know my why. I want to do this and I'm going to keep going. Okay, number 2 of how we are going to stop quitting on ourselves. And like I said, this can be in relation to anything. I'm not talking about weight loss. I'm talking about healthy habits. I'm talking about exercise routines. I'm talking about making a high protein breakfast. I'm talking for getting more steps in. Whatever you are focusing on right now, we want you to stop quitting. We want you to be consistent. We want you to repeat. We want it to be easy and we want it to flow. But in order for that to happen, you have to stop quitting on yourself when it's not perfect, when it's hard, when you're stressed, when the scales aren't showing the result you want. It's really important that you don't quit on yourself. Okay, so one of the strategies and tools that we can use is to go back to our why. Why are you doing it? What's this for? What's my purpose? Why? And that will help to bring you back to like a more clear and have that clarity and a more focused place to move on from. The next one is look back at previous times. So if you're in that mindset, okay, and you're doing the things and the scales aren't moving and it's just not working and it hasn't happened fast enough and you're going, okay, you're in that moment, okay, where you're like, yeah, I'm just going to pull out of this program, or I'm just going to quit this thing. I'm just going to not do this thing. Look back and think about previous times when you have quit. Did it help you? Did it do anything for you? Did it fast forward you or push you quicker and faster towards your goals? Or did it keep you stuck in this on-off dieting cycle for years, in this yo-yo dieting, in this eat well for a while and then binge eat everything? So look back at those previous times and ask yourself, did quitting help you to get there? And just ask yourself this, like, what if just this time is the time that you, even though you have the fear, even though you're doubtful, even though the scales aren't changing, even though it's not happening as quick as you want, what if this time you just keep going no matter what and you just keep showing up? Think about the unstoppable version of you that is on the other side of that. She is going to be rock solid in her beliefs, in her confidence, and knowing that she can 110% do this thing on her own, independently, and experience success. So, like I said, look back, ask yourself, did quitting help or did it just keep you stuck? And like I said, there's nothing worse than staying stuck in that dieting cycle. Okay, next one. And this kind of relates to the one I just talked about. But if you're in that moment, okay, and you're sort of thinking, I'm going to quit, because we all have that moment. You know what I'm talking about. It's that moment where you're like, okay, I don't think this is working. I don't think this is for me. I don't think that this program's for me. I don't think this challenge is for me. Whatever you're working on, this is not for me. And you're in that moment. Give yourself that moment. Sit in it. Feel it. It sucked. I did all the things this week. I've hit my steps. I've exercised. I've tracked my food, standing on the bloody scales, and nothing has happened. That sucks. And you're allowed to feel that. You don't have to go, oh, that's just great, and I'll just move on. Think about it for a sec. Give yourself the moment. It sucked. Don't brush it off. Like I said, don't just be like, oh, that doesn't matter. It's fine. And acknowledge that it sucks, that it's crappy. It's a crappy outcome because you've put in all the effort. But again, like I said, that's what weight loss looks like. Don't brush it off. It's important that you feel it, but then just move on. Have that feeling, have that moment, say that's really crap and that's really sucked. But hey, you know what? I'm trusting in the process. I'm doing all the things, and I know that over time that I will get to my end result. So give yourself the moment to feel the crappiness and that it sucks and that it's not a good outcome. And then just pick up and go again and just move on. Okay, the next one, stop the start again Monday cycle and make a better choice. So we so often delay our success, okay? So what I mean by that is like, oh, okay, so I overate and I feel bloated and I'll quit today and I'll start next week. You are just delaying your success. Okay, so whenever you fall in a hole and you overeat or like you're out of control around food and you're picking at all these things that you shouldn't be and you've gone off your deficit and you're not doing the things, when you say, okay, I'm just going to quit this now and I'll start again next week or next month or after the holiday or after work slows down, whatever your thing is, every time you do that to yourself, you're just delaying your success. Okay. And this is where you do need to brush it off. You need to go, okay, well, you know what? I've had the worst day of eating. I did no exercise. I feel bloated and disgusting. Instead of waiting until Monday and getting stuck in that cycle, give yourself an opportunity for success. Don't delay your success. So all that means is that make a better choice at your next meal. Do not wait. Biggest mistake I made is waiting because you're delaying the success. So you've had a crappy day, a crappy meal, even a couple of crappy days. It's never too late to go, you know what? I'm just going to brush this off. I'm going to make a better choice. And what that does is it gives a message of success to your brain, which is what we want. The more positive messages that your brain can get that, hey, you know what? Jen can do this. Jen fell off track and she picked it up and she went again. Great. And it gives you that inner confidence that you can do hard things. So like I said, keep that one in mind. If you eat off track and if you delay eating well again, all you're doing is delaying your success. The sooner you pick it up, make a better choice at your next meal, you are going to start to send a fresh message to your brain that, hey, you know what? We can do hard things, and that blimp on the radar and that time where I was off track or those few meals or the bad day or whatever it was really means nothing because I can just pick up and I can go again.
Hello, my name is Clem and I have lost 10.5 kilos in total, which is so exciting. I am a member of the Healthy Hype Gal membership and I have absolutely loved every minute. I cannot tell you how much this program has changed my life. Jen is amazing. All of the girls in the community are amazing. It is just incredible. And I am so grateful for everything that it has offered.
Okay, next tip number 5 of how you're going to finally stop quitting on yourself. And that is expect wobbles and plan for them. We know, we talk about this a lot on the Healthy Her podcast, that us gals are spread thin. As mothers, as working mothers, as parents, as women, like we just juggle way more than we probably should, but we do it. And somehow we all just somehow we always just matter to show up for ourselves, show up for everyone else, and we just do it with a smile and we get it done. But there are going to be days where there are wobbles and that you can plan for them. Okay. So there are going to be days that you don't feel like it. There are going to be days that you don't want to do it. Okay. There are going to be days where you just are so exhausted and so tired and you just have really low energy days. So just plan for it. Okay. Plan for it. Things like meal prep your breakfast. That's you planning for it. Okay. If you know that you're going to have a wobbly day and be like really flat out and you're not going to have time to make dinner the night before, wrap it up and pop it in the fridge. Wobbles are a part of it. Life is not smooth. Life is not seamless. We all know that. So expect them. Go, hey, you know what? Start telling yourself, instead of this message of, well, I'm going to do this diet and I'm going to do it perfectly, tell yourself, I'm expecting the wobbles. I know that this isn't going to go perfectly, but I'm going to put these few things in place in order to catch me if I feel like I'm going to fail or fall off track. Expect the wobbles and plan for them. That will stop you from quitting on yourself. This next one is a really, really important one. I want you to focus on your identity, not your willpower, because as women, we are very quick to just focus on, well, I'm weak. I don't have enough motivation. I don't have enough willpower. Like we tend to go down that focusing on our internal strength and that willpower rather than focusing on the identity and focusing on the person that we want to be. So instead of saying things like, oh, I lack willpower and I need more motivation, that's not how we should be talking to ourselves. It should be, I'm someone that shows up for myself. Okay, so we're taking that focus away from focusing on that inner strength, that willpower that you somehow need to magically have all the time in order to feel motivated to exercise and eat well, to, you know what? I'm a girl, I'm a woman, I am someone that shows up for myself. So we want to switch you from focusing on willpower to focusing on the identity of the person that you want to be. You want to be the person that shows up for yourself. You want to be the person that says, hey, if I'm going to set my alarm at 5 o'clock and get up and go to the gym, that you're the person that does that thing. You are the person that shows up for herself. And that is what you want to focus on instead of getting sort of bogged down and stuck in this, oh, I've got no willpower and I'm weak and I've got no motivation. Focus on the identity. Focus on the version of you that you want to be and the version of you that you want to show up as. Do you want to be that girl that does the things that she says she's going to do? Yes, absolutely. So make a focus on that instead of on the willpower. And do you know what, something that is really cool and really crazy, and I've definitely experienced this firsthand myself, is that your behavior will actually follow your beliefs. So if you are saying to yourself, I lack no willpower, I'm weak, I'm not motivated, the behavior that you have and the behaviors that you choose to show up in will reflect that. Okay, so the more that you can believe that you are capable of doing this thing, the actual behavior will follow. So if you're telling yourself that message of, you know what, I'm a girl that shows up for herself. I'm the girl that keeps the promises that she makes to herself. If she says that she's going to go for a walk for half an hour after work, she does those things. You'll do it because the behavior will follow your beliefs. So what you believe about yourself is actually way more important than what you think. So start believing how capable you are, and those behaviors and those healthy habits and those routines and that ease and that flow that you want is just going to come afterwards. And that's the really awesome thing about it. Okay, a last one of how you are going to stop quitting on yourself. I hope as well too, this has given you lots of ideas of, when you're in those moments and you're like, yeah, I'm just going to chuck this in. I'm done. I'm tired. It was too hard. It didn't work. It's not working this week. So I'm just going to chuck it in. I hope that all of these little strategies and tools and ideas have given you some things to use in those moments so that you finally can stop quitting on yourself. So the last one, make a decision once, not every day. So we've talked about this before. Women experience decision fatigue. Okay. We have so much on our plates and we just get damn tired of making decisions for ourselves, for other people, for people at work. We just get tired of making decisions. It's called decision fatigue. And that's why at nighttime we are just brain dead and we just don't want to make a decision about, what am I going to eat? What am I going to feed my family? And that's why we get takeaway or we throw some nuggets in the oven or because we're tired and we're exhausted. So make your decision once and not every day. So the less times you have to make decisions about food and what to eat, the better off you will be. So that's why meal prep your breakfast. You can just get up. You don't have to think, what am I going to make for breakfast today? What am I going to eat? Should I get some cereal? Should I have some toast? I can't be bothered. I'll just have coffee and walk out the door. Make that decision once and not every day. If you meal prep your breakfast, that's 3. If you do 3 or 4 days, like I'll do the Real Nourish high protein pancake bake, I make those up. You literally just have to add water and fruit, whatever fruit you want, and you can bake them and you throw them in the oven. It's 3 quick, healthy, low calorie, high protein breakfasts that are ready to eat. So what that means is that's 3 mornings that I don't have to make a decision about what I'm going to eat. So therefore, that reduces my decision fatigue over the week. Okay. Same with planning dinners. Okay. If you're not going to plan your dinners, you are significantly going to increase your decision fatigue, which means you're going to make it significantly harder for yourself to make a healthy choice at the end of the day. So make the decision once, not every day. Try and find opportunities where you can not have to make a decision every single day about what to eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Have it pre-organized, have it pre-planned, have it half-made. All of those things will help to reduce your overall decision fatigue throughout the week. And when you don't have to make so many decisions and you've just got food that you can grab and eat, it's a lot easier to do because it takes away that thinking. When we have time to think and we have time to stand in the pantry or the cupboard, that's where indecision comes in. It's like, I'll just have pizza or I'll just I'll just have half a packet of chips and a Coke or whatever. That's how we get into those habits. So do what you can to just make the decision once, not every day, and reduce your decision fatigue. Now, here is the thing. I promise you, hand on heart, I promise you that if you stay the course, if you keep showing up when nothing is changing, when the scales don't show up on a week, when the scales aren't moving on a particular week, if you keep showing up, you will get to your end goal. That's it. You just have to stop quitting on yourself before it gets so good. Because remember, if you can picture her, that version of you on the other side, you already have her. She's already there. She's already inside of you. It's just that you have to stop quitting on yourself in order to get to her. That's it. That's it. Because all the small, simple things that you do every single day have a compounding effect. They may not show you at the timeline that you want and in the time that you want and in the space that you want. But if you don't quit, that version of you that you really want to see standing in the mirror, she's in there already and she's literally just waiting for you to stop quitting on yourself. Thank you so much for joining me in today's episode. I hope you got lots and lots of little gems from this. I absolutely love talking about these topics because, like I said, these are just things that no one explained to me. And when I understood why I kept quitting on myself and how I could stop quitting on myself, everything started to become clear. So I hope that you'll start to use some of these tools and strategies next time you feel like you just want to quit on yourself, because you are so worth it and you so deserve to be the healthiest, happiest version of you. I'll see you all in our next episode of the Healthy Her podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in to another empowering episode of the Healthy Her podcast. If you enjoyed today's chat and found it helpful, hitting that follow or subscribe button would be amazing because your support means the world to me. Come connect with me on Instagram @TheActiveBod for your daily dose of inspiration and for loads of new easy meal ideas. Take care and keep thriving. See you next week.